The bright moon illumes the night prospect, by Mei Sheng. A bright moon illumes the night prospect. The house cricket chirrups on the eastern wall. The handle of the pole star points to the beginning of winter. The host of stars is scattered over the sky. The white dew wets the moor grasses. With sudden swiftness the times and seasons change. The autumn cicada sings among the trees. The swallows, alas, why are they gone? Once I had the same house friend. He took flight and rose high away. He did not remember how once we went hand in hand, but left me like footsteps behind on the dust. In the south is the winnowing fen, and the pole star in the north, and a herd boy whose ox has never borne the yoke. A friend who is not firm as a great rock is of no profit, and idly is the name. At the beginning of winter a cold spirit comes, by Mei Sheng. At the beginning of winter a cold spirit comes. The north wind blows, chill, chill. My sorrows being many, I know the length of the nights. Raising my head, I look at the stars in their places. On the 15th day the bright moon is full. On the 20th day the toad and hare wane. A stranger came to me from a distant land, and brought me a single scroll with writing on it. At the top of the scroll was written, "Do not forget." At the bottom was written, "Goodbye forever." I put the letter away in the folds of my dress. For 3 years the writing did not fade. How with an undivided heart I loved you, I fear that you will never know or guess. Cold, cold, the year draws to its end, by Mei Sheng. Cold, cold, the year draws to its end. The crickets and grasshoppers make a doleful chirping. The chill wind increases its violence. My wandering love has no coat to cover him. He gave his embroidery at first to the Lady of Lu, but from me, his bedfellow, he is quite estranged. Sleeping alone in the depth of a long night, in a dream I thought I saw the light of his face. My dear one thought of our old joys together. He came in his chariot and gave me the front reins. I wanted so to prolong our play and laughter, to hold his hand and go back with him in his couch. But when he had come, he would not stay long, nor stop to go with me to the inner chamber. Truly without the falcon's wings to carry me, how can I rival the flying wind's swiftness? I go and lean at the gate and think of my grief, my falling tears that the double gates. Crossing the river I pluck hibiscus flowers, by Mei Sheng. Crossing the river I pluck hibiscus flowers. In the orchard swarms are many fragrant herbs. I gather them, but who shall I send them to? My love is living in lands far away. I turn and look towards my own country. The long road stretches on forever. The same heart, yet different dwelling, always fretting till we are grown old. Far away twinkles the herd boy's star, by Mei Sheng. Far away twinkles the herd boy's star. Brightly shines the Lady of the Han River. Slender, slender she plies her white fingers. Click, click go the wheels of her spinning alone. At the end of the day she has not finished her task. Her bitter tears fall like streaming rain. The Han River runs shallow and clear. Set between them, how short a space! But the river water will not let them pass, gazing at each other, but never able to speak. Green, green the cypress on the mound, by Mei Sheng. Green, green the cypress on the mound. Firm, firm the boulder in the stream. Man's life lived within this world is like the sojourning of a hurried traveller. A cup of wine together will make us glad, and a little friendship is no little matter. Yoking my chariot, I urge my step on horses. I wander about in the streets of wan and low. In low tone, how fine everything is. The cabs and bells go seeking each other out. The great boulevards are intersected by lanes. Therein are the townhouses of royal dukes. The two palaces stare at each other from afar. The twin gates rise 100 feet. By prolonging the feast, let us keep our hearts gay, and leave no room for sadness to creep in. Green, green the grass by the river bank, by Mei Sheng. Green, green the grass by the river bank. Thick, thick the willow trees in the garden. Sad, sad the lady in the tower. White, white sitting at the casement window. Fair, fair her red potted face. Small, small she puts out her pale hand. Once she was a dancing house girl, now she is a wandering man's wife. The wandering man went but did not return. It is hard alone to keep an empty bed. I drive my chariot up to the eastern gate by Mei Sheng. I drive my chariot up to the eastern gate. From afar I see the graveyard north of the wall. The white aspens, how they murmur, murmur. Pines and cypresses flank the broad paths. Beneath lie men who died long ago. Black, black is the long night that holds them. Deep down beneath the yellow springs, thousands of years they lie without waking. In infinite succession light and darkness shift, and years vanish like the morning dew. Man's life is like a sojourning. His longevity lacks the firmness of stone and metal. Forever it has been that mourners in their turn were mourned. Saint and sage, all alike are trapped, seeking by food to obtain immortality. Many have been the dupe of strange drugs. Better far to drink good wine and clothe our bodies in robes of Satan and silk. In the courtyard there grows a strange tree by Mei Sheng. In the courtyard there grows a strange tree. Its green leaves ooze with a fragrant moisture. Holding the branch I cut a flower from the tree, meaning to send it away to the person I love. Its sweet smell fills my sleeves and lap. The road is long, how shall I get it there? Such a thing is not fine enough to send, but it may remind him of a time that has passed since he left. In the northwest there is a high house by Mei Sheng. In the northwest there is a high house, its top level with the floating clouds. Embroidered curtains thinly screen its windows, its starry tower is built on 3 steps. From above there comes a noise of playing and singing. A tune sounding, oh, how sad! Who can it be, playing so sad a tune? Surely it must be Shi Liang's wife. The tranquil Di follows the winds rising. The middle lay lingers indecisive. To each note 2 or 3 sobs, her high will conquered by overwhelming grief. She does not regret that she is left so sad with minds that so few can understand her song. She wants to become those 2 wild geese that with beating wings rise high aloft. Of this day's glorious feast and revel by Mei Sheng. Of this day's glorious feast and revel the pleasure and delight are difficult to describe. Plucking the lute they sent forth lingering sounds. The new melodies and beauty reached the divine. Skillful singers intoned the high words. Those who knew the tune heard the trueness of their singing. We sat there each with the same desire, and like thoughts were each unexpressed. Man in the world lodging for a single lifetime passes suddenly like dust borne on the wind. Then let us hurry out with high steps and be the first to reach the highways and forts, rather than stay at home wretched and poor, for long years plunged in sordid grief. On and on, always on and on, by Mei Sheng. On and on, always on and on, away from you, parted by a life parting, going from one another 10,000 li, each in a different corner of the world. The way between is difficult and long. Face to face, how shall we meet again? The Tatar horse prefers the north wind. The bird from Yue nests on the southern branch. Since we parted, the time is already long. Daily my clothes hang loose around my waist. Floating clouds obscure the white sun. The wandering one has quite forgotten how. Thinking of you has made me suddenly old. The months and years swiftly draw to their close. I'll put you out of my mind and forget forever, and try with all my might to eat and thrive. The bright moon, oh, how white it shines, by Mei Sheng. The bright moon, oh, how white it shines down on the gauze curtains of my bed. Racked by sorrow I toss and cannot sleep. Picking up my clothes I wander up and down. My absent love says that he is happy, but I would rather he said he was coming back. Out in the courtyard I stand hesitating, alone. To whom can I tell the sad thoughts I think? Staring before me I enter my room again, falling tears with my mantle and robe. The dead are gone, and with them we cannot converse, by Mei Sheng. The dead are gone, and with them we cannot converse. The living are here and ought to have our love. Leaving the city gate I look ahead and see before me only mounds and tombs. The old graves are plowed up into fields, the pines and cypresses are hewn for timber. And the white aspens sad winds sing. Their long murmuring kills my heart with grief. I want to go home, to ride to my village gate. I want to go back, there's no road back. The Eastern Castle stands tall and high, by Mei Sheng. The Eastern Castle stands tall and high, far and wide stretch the towers that guard it. The whirling wind uprises and shakes the earth. The autumn grasses grow thick and green. The 4 seasons alternate without pause. The year's end hurries swiftly on. The bird of the morning wind is stricken with sorrow. The frail cicada suffered and is hard pressed. Free and clear, let us loosen the bonds of our hearts. Why should we go on always restraining and binding? In Yen and Shao are many fair ladies, beautiful people with faces like jade. Their clothes are made all of silk gauze. They stand at the door practicing tranquil lace. The echo of their singing, how sad it sounds. By the pitch of a song one knows the stops have been tightened. To ease your minds they arrange their shawls and bells. Lowering the song a little while they pause. I should like to be those 2 flying swallows who are carrying clay to nest in the eaves of your house. The years of a lifetime do not reach 100, by Mei Sheng. The years of a lifetime do not reach 100, yet they contain 1,000 years' sorrow. When days are short and the dull nights long, why not take a lamp and wander forth? If you want to be happy, you must do it now. There is no waiting till an after-time. The fool who's loath to spend the wealth he's got becomes the laughing-stock of other ages. It is true that Master Wang became immortal. How can we hope to share his lot? Turning my chariot, I yoke my horses and go, by Mei Sheng. Turning my chariot, I yoke my horses and go. On and on down the long roads, the autumn winds shake the 100 grasses. On every side how desolate and bare. The things I meet are all new things. Their strangeness hastens the coming of old age. Prosperity and decay each have their season. Success is bitter when it is slow in coming. Man's life is not metal or stone. He cannot far prolong the days of his fate. Suddenly he follows the way of things that change. Fame is the only treasure that endures.